Hello guys, we are now doing the third and fourth problem of our worksheet that we started previous when you came to math class. So please get out your paper. If it's not, there's some extra ones up front. Thank you. A band will be paid a flat fee for playing a concert. In addition, the band will receive a fixed amount for each ticket sold. If 40 tickets are sold, the band will be paid $200. If 70 tickets are sold, the band will be paid $260. So, looking at these numbers, I know that the numbers will not come out pretty. So I'm going to change it. So instead of 40, I'm going to put 30. And instead of 200, I'm going to have $180. And I'm going to change all these up. So instead of 70, I'm going to have 60. And instead of 260, I'm going to have 240. So if $30 tickets are sold, the band will be paid $180. If 60 tickets are sold, the band will be paid $240. So we're going to determine the rate of change. And just like anytime we see rate of change, we know that is slope. So usually the first number they always say is our x. So like before, I will make a chart. X is 30 and y is, when x is 30, my y is 80. And then when x is 60, my y is 240. Alright, so looking at this chart, I know that it went up plus 30. And 180 from 240, if you use your calculator, you know that went up plus 60. And just like any other time, you always have your y over your x. So in this case, I will have 60 over 30. And I can always reduce that, and I reduce this to 2. Great. Now, I need to figure out B. We found our slope. We know for every 2 tickets, for every ticket we get $2 for every ticket that is being sold. Great. Now what is the fee? The band for playing, for just showing up, how much is that going to cost? So this is not including any ticket sales. So if the band came and nobody showed up, how much money would they receive? While looking at this chart, we always need to figure out when x is 0. That's across from our y-intercept. So I'm going to put a little line and I'm going to skip. And I notice that this is going up plus 30. So if I subtract 30, I would get 0. So I know all this over here, I have 180 and I have 240. So this is going up plus 60. So if this went up plus 60, it has to go down minus 60. So 180 from 180 minus 60, I now have 120. Our y-intercept is also our starting price. How much it's going to cost with the band just to show up. So in this case, our B is $120. That is our starting price. That is the fee for the band is $120. So just to book the band is $120. So let me go back. I went up from 30 to 60 was plus 30. And to figure out what was 0, I just subtracted 30 from 0. Because 0 plus 30 is 30. 30 plus 30 is 60. And we did the same thing over here. We looked to see how it was going up and subtracted it from it. Now, let x, for C, it says let x represent the number of tickets sold and y represents the amount the band will be paid. Write a linear function to represent the relationship between the number of tickets sold and the amount the band will be paid. Now we know off top, y equals mx plus b. We know that. Like to get through this lesson that we have been doing, we know that. So we found our slope, and our slope was 2. So instead of m, we know that's 2. We always put an x behind the slope. And we also know that with just to show up for the band, the fee is $120. We know that's our y-intercept because y is always across when x is 0. So we have plus 120. When it says write a linear function, it means write the equation. All right. Now, it says how much would the band receive from each ticket sold? And that is basically, this is asking for our slope. And I'm going to rewrite the equation over here. Y equals 2x plus 20. So for each ticket, the band will receive $2. All right? So how do you know that each equation above is a function? So this goes back to what we did earlier this year, and we were saying, how did a function, what is a function, how do we know everything is a function? Well, we know this is a function because every time we buy one ticket, it has a different output. So if I pay for, if nobody shows up, we know it's $120 that the band made. If one person shows up, we know it's $122. So basically for every action, it's a certain outcome. So for this one, I say each input has only one output. And excuse me for my handwriting. Oopsie.